And here we are at the end of Season 3. As you can see at the top, in Super Bowl 60, we actually get the Cardinals and the Ravens. So the Battle of the Birds in Super Bowl 60. Taking a look at of course, we again went 0-17. But hey, here's the thing. We scored points this year. We actually came very, very close to actually winning some games this season. I think we only lost by 7 in a regular season game. It was against the Jags. We lost only 24-17. We lost by 3 to the Cardinals, 24-21. They're eventually now in the Super Bowl. Other than that, we got blown out by the Titans and the Chiefs. We lost by 14 against the Patriots. We lost by 21 against the Seahawks. Those two are the closest games, by 3 and by 7. So we're getting better. Slowly but surely, we are getting better. And Anthony Richardson, of course, is also getting better. Patrick Mahomes threw for 5,000 yards and 45 touchdowns. So he probably won MVP. But hey, 13 passing touchdowns from Anthony Richardson and 3,600 passing yards. And he lowered his interceptions to 19. So that's not bad. 13 touchdowns, 19 interceptions. A lot better than the last couple of years. Rushing-wise, almost had a 1,000-yard rusher with Chuba Hubbard with 7 rushing touchdowns. Anthony Richardson had 5. Receiving wise, Danny Brackett with 1,000 yards, 1,000-yard receiver. Damon Gooden, who is a superstar, had 912, and Rashawn Miller, who's a superstar X Factor, had basically 900. Only 1 touchdown though. But yeah, a lot more touchdowns from them. So very, very good to see from them. Defensive wise, he's technically going to be leaving us. So is Jonathan Samuel. Had the most tackles. Stokes, of course, had 118. He's now a superstar X Factor. Devin Mumford, who had the most picks who had the most sacks? I only had 2 sacks, and one was by Bobby Saturday, the rookie. 2 picks from Taylor, 2 picks from Stokes, and 1 pick by Murphy. Do we have any touchdowns? No, we did not. So that's unfortunate. But hey. Checking out the yearly awards, kind of seeing who won what. Jalen Hurts won MVP, which is, he threw for 5,000 yards, 45 touchdowns. But near went Arthur Smith. AFC, Lamar Jackson won Offensive Player of the Year. Quentin Williams won Defensive Player of the Year. Offensive Rookie went to Damon Gooden, and Rashawn Miller was number 2. So we had the top 2 Offensive Rookie of the Years. Defensive Rookie of the Year went to Bradley Kramer. Best quarterback, I don't think we're going to get any. Wow, Rashee Rice was the best wide receiver, and Joe Thuney was the best offensive lineman. TJ Watt's the best linebacker. Jaweer Brown. I definitely mispronounced that name, and I apologize. Do we have anyone? No, we did not in the top 10. Yeah, probably still looking for a kicker, and that's probably going to be the biggest need. We actually didn't have the worst offense, chat. We didn't have the worst offense. We did still have the worst defense at 69-69. Nice. But yeah, we have a bunch of upgrades now. For pretty much everything. So, season 3 off season, we go ahead and go after Nakobe Dean. So Nakobe Dean is going to be our new middle linebacker. So, upgrades the defense, very, very good. We're going to be moving on. So, awesome middle linebacker. We get him, obviously, next week. We do show it here. Just, we got to advance the week. We do get him, so he's only a normal development, which isn't the best, but if we do end up running those 2 middle linebacker sets, we're at least going to have one person. You know, our linebacker position is definitely the weakest right now, so that's what we desperately need to go after. And, of course, we do get Nakobe Dean. Now, in the draft, there is, again, a lot more players going to be drafted in here. Obviously, we show a little bit of some free agents that went somewhere. But again, some major picks are going to be traded here. Patriots did offer only 2 first-round picks, which wasn't really the best. There was the Packers one that I was thinking of as well. Lions didn't offer a first-round pick, besides until the next year. But the Giants did offer 2 firsts, a second for 2 years from now, and a 6th-round pick for this year. I was in between them and one other spot, pretty much. But we end up taking the Giants pick to then pick at number 3, which is not bad per se. We actually didn't have anyone in the top 5 that we actually had it, scattered wise. So we just went with pretty much what we needed at that point. So, obviously, Giants at number 1, they take Channing Vickers, the left tackle. The Patriots at number 2 go ahead and take Matt Nix, the quarterback out of Oregon State. So, an Oregon State quarterback going top 2. I haven't seen that in forever. For us in the first round, obviously, we pretty much need everything. And I know we just signed a middle linebacker, but we go Monty Wise, 83 speed, 92 acceleration, some very good coverage skills from this middle linebacker here. So we end up taking him. Monty Wise, middle linebacker out of South Carolina. So if we do run 2 middle linebackers, now we have 2 of them. So that's going to be good. Ryan Nichols did go to the left tackle out of Clemson, did go to the Bears. So again, we lose out on our left tackle. But it's fine, because we go after a couple guys that are definitely going to help out our defensive line here and be a lot better on the defensive side of the ball. We did take a look around and see what we can get here. Obviously, George Branch looked pretty good. Terrence Hawkins actually did scout fully. Enrique Carey also looked decently well. Not good block shed or finesse moves, but he had good power moves and good tackling, so maybe he's going to be that kind of the set the edge guy to make sure we get some tackles in there and everything. Offensive line looked decent, but not really top 5 material. And I don't know what Demarius Chancellor was with F catching and F catching traffic. I don't know what he is. Maybe he's a halfback that changed to a receiver late in the year. We also still got like defensive tackles, and outside linebackers. Nothing was really kind of catching our eye until later on. But we ended up going, we even looked at corner. Deontay Silver actually looked pretty good, along with Beckham. They both looked fantastic at B's all the way around. You know, really good at Colorado and Clemson. They looked pretty good. But we don't take those corners. We go ahead. I mean, even Brendan Fisher looked good, but, I mean, top 5 projection, he's around 1 to 2 talent. It's not going to be the best. We looked at most tackles and everything. Deontay Silver, again, looked good. Torrey McCree did not. We actually do go with a right end here of George Branch. He didn't have the good block shed. He has really good finesse, but he is 86 speed, 84 acceleration with hidden development out of UConn, which is, kind of weird that, I don't really see too many out of UConn in a while, so there is that. Another first-round pick here at pick number 15. Deontay Silver did just get taken by Denver. I was actually about to take him. He stays in Colorado, though, which is kind of nice for him. But I was thinking about taking him in the next pick there, but we end up not doing that. So far, middle linebacker, right in. This is a very defensive-heavy draft. I will just let you guys know. We end up taking another defensive line upgrade of Enrique Carey. Enrique Carey, again, not good block shed, not good finesse, but really good power moves, good tackle. And he is also hidden development out of Oklahoma, 84 speed, 82 acceleration. 86 strength is actually pretty solid. Not very good change of direction, though. But it is what it is. But hey, those 2 are automatically upgrades on our defensive line. As well, we already made an upgrade to middle linebacker. Second round pick. We have a lot of still needs and everything. Maybe even looking at backups at a couple places. That's when we saw a deep route running of David Blackshear. Notre Dame, he's 6 foot, 189, 21 out of Notre Dame. Decent catch in traffic, decent catching. Can't run medium routes at all. Great elite change of direction, good speed, great acceleration. So I'm not too worried about that too much wise. We do end up taking David Blackshear, 92 speed, 92 acceleration with only normal development, 95 change of direction, which is pretty good for a rookie. So we're definitely going to be using him a lot along with Gooden and Miller. They're 2 wide receivers that we got last video. Third round pick. So right after that, our first offensive pick in this draft, because we don't really need too much unless we need to pretty much upgrade positions. We go with a right outside linebacker of Zach Woodley. 22 out of Lehigh. A terrible zone coverage, so it's mostly a pass rusher maybe. Good tackle, not good hit power, good play rec, decent finesse moves, so maybe he could be one of those blitzing linebackers. He has poor change of direction, decent speed. He is also hitting development at 78 speed, 89 acceleration, which is nice, along with 73 speed. So he would definitely be a lot better down the road, just not right now, obviously. But again, that's an upgrade to the right outside linebacker position, so that's nice. Going to the 4th round, we still have 7 draft picks here in this draft alone. And we only have 1 in the 4th, and I believe only 1 in the 5th. I could be wrong on that one. But, again, we already have 2 defensive line pretty much already drafted. We're kind of taking a look at what we could do as well to kind of upgrade everything. Baker, not really, though, for a wide receiver-wise. We do end up looking at Lyle Monk. C tackle, D block shed. Again, not the greatest. Out of Boston College, we take him. 78 speed, 82 strength, 88 excel out of normal development. So, not the best left in-wise, but we already have Branch and Carey as our 2 kind of defensive line position upgrades. He was mostly just going to be a backup for, rotational-wise. We have that rotation edge. Here in the 5th, again, still looking for defense because that's our main focus in this draft class. There's a very good defensive class. It wasn't very good for offense. Besides, it was very top heavy for the offensive wise. Eric Rowland fell to us. He's from Duke. He's a pass coverage linebacker, 82 speed, 89 acceleration. 66 strength is not the best, but really good man coverage and really good awareness. So, be that coverage linebacker that we might need at the right outside linebacker position. So that will definitely help us out, at least in right outside linebackers. Only 5 more picks, and don't worry, we have 2 in the 6th here. With a 6th round selection, this was definitely a lot more harder for us because we had a lot of people that were pretty good, especially here in the 6th round, that we could definitely take. We could take halfbacks because we don't have a backup halfback. We could take another wide receiver. We could take a corner. We could take a tight end. But DeAndre Thomas is an insane player. This man is 6'9", 232 out of Oregon. A catching traffic, A spec catch, and B short route. He is 100% our red zone threat. Elite jumping. I hope so for a man that's 6'9". I don't know how this guy fell all the way down the 6th round, especially, no issues climbing the ladder to make catches, fights for every single inch as a runner. This guy, again, 6'9", wide receiver, 89 speed, 89 acceleration at 6'9". Dude's going to be cracked for us, especially when we start playing games. 93 jumping as well. 88 change of direction. This guy's going to be a monster. I'm telling you guys right now. This guy is going to be a monster, especially for us when we start playing the games. So, DeAndre Thomas, really the only wide receiver that we actually pick up in this year's class, along with Blackshear. So, I guess the 2 wide receivers that we pick up, especially for backups, and having, DeAndre Thomas now has a red zone threat. It's going to be really, really awesome for us. Last kind of 4 picks here. Again, kind of taking a look at mostly corners, maybe some other stuff. Trying to find out who can really work out in our system here. Marco Gaines, all C's were pretty decent. Caleb Graham, a middle linebacker at TCU, kind of looked at a little bit. Nate Christensen as well looked pretty good. But Tevin Hightower with that A press and B zone coverage actually caught my eye there, especially for the late rounds. That's really good. B zone, C tackle, A press, D play recs, not great, but C awareness. Had a 4.47 pro day 40. Elite jumping, solid excel. 90 speed, 90 acceleration, 94 jumping, with a normal development. So not too shabby there for us-wise. So we now advance to the 7th round. Well, we are now having the first pick in the 7th round, of course, since we were 0-17. Again, more and more kind of defense focused. Jason Generals, we don't have a left outside linebacker. Went ahead and take him. A zone coverage, he's a coverage linebacker. 86 speed, 86 acceleration, 23 out of Air Force. Might as well, right? Terrible hit power. You know, pretty good at decently everything else. Except for hit power. We did have another extra 7th round pick here. With the 3rd pick in the 7th round. Max Pinkston. There's actually another guard I was looking at out of Wake Forest. See if we could draft him late. Unfortunately, we couldn't. So taking a look pretty much around at defensive tackles. We still need them, honestly. Brackens actually looked pretty good here. C power move, C tackle out of LSU. We do take him. 88 strength, 77 XL, 57 speed's disgustingly bad. But, you know, hidden development. So you never know. He could increase his speed down the road. Definitely need it. Like, badly. Then the last pick here in this draft, of course, we don't still have a kicker. And that's why I thought of immediately, and I was like, we need a kicker. It needs to happen. We have a punter. Now we need a kicker. And honestly, let's just grab the first one on the board. A, awareness. A, kick accuracy. Other than that, there's not really many people that had good kick accuracy. The F is short accuracy. I don't know why it's showing short accuracy when it should show kick power, in my opinion. But, I don't know, here we are. He's out of FAU. A kick accuracy. B, medium accuracy. So if we want him to throw, he can. If need be. We take him 76 speed, 88 kick power out of FAU. So, really, really solid draft class for us. With an amazing kind of couple of picks. So, we will always take that. That really upgrades us now to a 76, especially on offense and defense. So, really, really good. So here we are at the end of Season 3. I guess Season 3 off-season. Looking at the team here, of course, the offensive line is going to stay the same with Kerr, Calhoun, Strong, Copeland, and McKnight. We still have Fox as our tight end, but we did add Miller, who's now only a superstar, as well as Good, who's a superstar. Thomas Brackett, Blackshear is going to be new addition to this roster. Chuba Hubbard, again, 74 overall, halfback, so not too bad there. On the defensive side, we made some huge upgrades. Huge upgrades. Means is back to our left outside linebacker with Nakobe Dean as our middle linebacker, with Wise as our backup, Woodley at the right outside linebacker position. Of course, Delpit and Stokes as our 2 safeties. Bab, Monroe, Brooks, Mumphrey, Stallworth, and then I believe one more. Nope, that's it. As are now 5 corners, along with Branch, Saturday, Brackens, and Carey, along with Monk and Craig as our backup ends. So 4 or 5. Yeah, 5 hidden developments on the defensive side of the ball. That is huge. And we ended up also, that's Brackens. He's on the defensive side. So I don't know why he's not showing up on offense. But that's a huge upgrade. We're looking forward to be a part of some games next season. We're 76 overall. We should be solid next season. Should be very, very solid. But anyways, actually, we need to check the draft recap. Totally forgot about that. I apologize. We'll look at that right now. Probably not gonna be the highest rated draft. Yeah, 74. We actually, Thomas was a 6. This was the 6'9" wide receiver, which is just insane. We drafted a bunch. Our kicker is also 74 with Ben Agnew. Brackens. Generals is a 61. We had a bunch of late round draft picks. We had 3 first rounders, 74, 71, 72. We had a 73 of Blackshear. Woodley was a 66. Monk was a 68. Roland was a 62. DeAndre Thomas was 74. Hightower was a 70. Generals is a 61. Bracken's a 64. And then Agnew at 74. We'll check who the highest overall guy there was. It was a 78 halfback. We weren't really looking at halfbacks. There was a 77 Castaneda, along with Deontay Silva. That's the one I was looking for. He got picked one pick before us. Mike Strokes out of free safety. Weaver is a 76. Parham was 76. In the third round as a middle linebacker. That's insane. That's a steal. Other than that, there's a couple defensive tackles with Zach Rice and Jaquan Footy, I don't know. Antoine Jones, a good tight end in the third round. Another good middle linebacker, Dan Colvin, in the third round as well. And Charles Cherry in the third round as well. Like, we missed out on a lot of decent guys. I mean, other than that, pretty much in the first round, the tackles weren't great, like 73 overall. We picked Monty Wise, 74. Nichols was a 75. Fisher was a 74. They picked Starkley at 78. They kind of fell right down. Amarius Chancellor was awful at 64 overall. So not great there. Jawan Boyce was not even then. I mean, Nicholas Coyle was a 74. A couple right outside linebackers went at lower 70s, and 3 straight tackles of Mooney, Mobley, and Peck all went. And I'm pretty sure Money. I just thought it is Money, and Mobley's right under him. I honestly think Randy Money was probably the best lineman in the class, and he went almost the end of the first round. 77 Castaneda went with Blackshear, so kind of missed on that. There was, Stokes at free safety, Weary at wide receiver, both defensive tackles of Rice and Foot. A couple mid-70s. There's a high 70 with Darren Darden. The other halfback that was amazing that I just completely I wasn't even looking at. So, one last thing is we're going to go ahead and look at what we kind of need, and at least for undrafted free agent. If we can get a better center, that'd be awesome, because we do need, he's only a 60, he's a 66. But I think everything else is pretty much full. It's just getting backups at every position now that we kind of need. Maybe a backup safety that we could use. I know a corner would definitely do that. He's a 68, he's a 74, 66, 76, 80 for our right tackle. Cox is a 72, Miller's a 70, or he's an 80. He's an 84. Thomas is a 74. Yeah, this man right here is going to be insane, by the way. Again, 6'9", 232. I mean, if he doesn't get much playing time, I mean, he's 89 speed, 84 catch in traffic, 93 jumping. This man is going to be a hell of a tight end. I'm going to move him there after the season. Who knows? Because if I draft another good wide receiver, I might just move him to tight end. Probably the starting tight end too. But we should have a kicker and a punter now, so we are good there. So we don't need to worry about that. I guess just pretty much maybe an outside linebacker or maybe a defensive tackle as well, because we only have 64s there and a 60, like mid 60s. So yeah, maybe look at that. So that's what we're going to be looking at, is the defensive line upgrade. Maybe there's a better guy there, but I don't really think that's going to happen, unfortunately. We'll just sim to next week. Of course, that will be into the 2025 or 2026 off season, where we are now at 76 overall. We have a very good shot at winning some games now. Very, very good shot. Obviously, we're going to look at defensive line. So let's see. Left end, is there a really good left end? There's a 60. Let me just look here. There's a 20. He's already played, though. He's played 5 years. Who's the youngest that's a higher overall? 27. He's got 5 years. So 24, and it's Larry Bolden. It's a 60. What about defensive tackle? Is there anybody at defensive tackle that's going to be solid? Because there was only 60s. Is there anyone that's better? He's played 1 year, though. That's unfortunate. 62, Nate Christian. We're going to sign him. He's 22. Nate Christian, welcome to the team. Out of Ohio State as well, so bang. Just keep getting defensive tackles, and I think we'll be solid after that. Getting some, rookies that will be backups at places, and then, be able to kind of go from there. All right, so looking at the depth chart, again, we have no injuries are off because, if we had injuries off or injuries on, we'd have literally nobody. But Anthony Richardson is our only quarterback that probably might sign a quarterback in free agency, but oh well. Halfbacks, Chuba Hubbard is the only really halfback we have. Wide receiver, fullbacks, don't really care. Wide receivers, we now have 5 wide receivers with Blackshear, Brackett, Thomas, Miller, and Gooden. And Gooden did win an award, so there's that. All these guys are apparently day one starters besides Danny Brackett, who has none for a player tag, which is unfortunate. Kellen Fox is our only tight end that we have on there. McKnight only. We probably need some backup offensive line. Just because they're on a little bit of a lower side. Carey at left end that says 72 overall. Branch at the right end at 71. We have Saturday, Brackens, Weathers, and now Christensen at defensive tackle. So again, getting more backups wise here, and maybe they go into something. Jerome Means at left outside linebacker. Generals behind him at 61. Nakobe Dean and Monty Wise loading up the middle linebacker core. Right outside linebacker, Woodley and Rowland. Corners, George Brooks, Devin Mumphrey, Chris Babb, Manny Monroe, and Dylan Stallworth. Safeties, we of course have Grant Delpit, and then strong safety of Mitch Stokes with Selfless as his superstar X Factor, and then Ben Agnew, the 7th round rookie, and Reed Watts, the punter at LSU that we got for, free agency. All right, that's going to end it for episode number 2. Again, episode number 3 might have our week 1 game against the Denver Broncos, kind of starting our season out and trying to at least hopefully win a game with Anthony Richardson and trying to make it to a Super Bowl. So, hope you all enjoyed. If you guys do want to have a player in this dynasty or in this rebuild as well, comment down below, say who you want, and I'll add them into the draft class and kind of go from there. If you want like a left tackle or a quarterback and stuff like that, I can add them in there and kind of go from there and kind of see where your guys' player goes. If you guys enjoyed, leave a like button down below. Also, if you guys are new, please hit that subscribe button down below. It is free. It really helps out the channel. Anyways, hope you guys have a great rest of your day, and I'm out. Peace.